I want to welcome everyone to Beauty Superstars Talk. My name is Mickey Wright, and I am a salon business coach with beautysuperstars.com. And I recently started this chat conversation to get to know people more of their story. It's like with everything that's happened in the last, 2 months now, with George Floyd's death and everything erupting in terms of racial tensions and what have you. And it definitely spilled over into the beauty industry. And I was on a few calls where we had a lot of people, some people that I did know, some people that I didn't know, people who were educators and doing things in film and television and doing just all kinds of fabulous stuff. And I was left so inspired that I was like, we've got to hear these stories. We've got to see who these people are and know what they're doing and, be able to be inspired and educated about opportunities that are out there that we may not know about. And I think it's healing as well. So for us to really come together and see, so many great, wonderful, talented, professional Black artists who are excelling in the beauty industry, whether they've experienced, anything racist or not. But, it's like they're doing their thing. And so I think this gentleman here joining me tonight is like the epitome of that. Mr. Patric Bradley, I'm so happy that you are joining us tonight. So welcome.
Thank you for having me. Yes.
Yeah. It's like I want to take a moment and just go through your bio a little bit for anyone who's not from this planet and doesn't know that much about you. So I think everybody probably knows you, but I'll share a little bit anyway. So Patric Bradley, who was, I guess, formerly known Patrick Antonio Bradley, was that right? And he's a world-renowned beauty expert, has been acknowledged as a beauty industry icon for 2 decades. His God-given talent inspires and enables him to be innovative and imaginative while creating trend-setting hairstyles and show-stopping makeovers, capturing the attention of artists around the globe. His bold styles have been featured by Dudley Products, Farouk Systems, Naked by Essentials, and just to name a few. He was also the artistic director for Dudley Products, a creative director for Farouk Systems. His work has been displayed on more than 80 national and international magazine covers and billboards around the globe. Quite impressive. And there's more. He's won more than 30 national and international hair and makeup competitions, including the prestigious Top Stylist and Educator honor at Bronner Brothers International Beauty Show in 2017, and numerous other awards. He also serves as chair of judges for the Bronner Brothers Hair Battle Royale. And another notch in his belt in 2007, started his own styling team, Team Hollywood. And you guys have an amazing group of more talented artists that represent you all across the country. And I think that's so phenomenal. You have your professional product line, which we'll talk about a little bit tonight as well with P Element. And it was a venture with Naked Essentials. And so definitely love to hear more about that, on the product side. And of course, he travels around the world, expounding his haircutting, coloring, hairstyling skills, and sharpening his craft as an international editorial photographer for stylists around the world. His imagination as a hairstylist and makeup artist knows no boundaries. And I think we'll just stop there. So how are you feeling hearing all of that?
I've been busy. I'm tired.
You've been busy, yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So tell us.
But just hearing all that and just know that I've been doing hair for 25 years.
Uh-huh.
Like I just got out of beauty school like 7 years ago.
Right,
so
right.
It just goes and goes and goes and goes. I'm telling you, it flies.
Yes, absolutely. We could even see that with being home, kind of locked down for COVID.
Yeah.
It's almost August. I'm like, how did that happen?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, almost less than 5 months before Christmas.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's just like, whoa, you look up and 20 years has gone by. So
yeah, just like that.
Exactly. So tell us how you got started in the industry. 25 years ago, where were you? Who were you?
Yeah, 25 years ago, I was in the military. I was in the Army, and I wanted to be, just like I am now, I wanted to be one of the best in the military. So whatever the highest rank in the Army was, that's where I wanted to get to. I was dating a young lady in the Army. She was a hairstylist, And I knew back then she was making like 6 figures. I'm like, oh wow, you're making a lot of money,
Right.
Hair stuff. I said, that's good, thumbs up. But I ended up getting out of the army, and then I moved to Italy. I worked for a company over there, and I was making about 200,000 plus a year, tax free. But
Okay.
the crazy thing was, and people died for jobs like that back in the 90s, and I got bored. I got bored with the job, so the money wasn't enough to keep me there. And I'm like maybe like 22, 23. I
Uh-huh.
have a condo on the beach. I made 2 BMWs, all the money I wanted to make, and got bored. And then they said, well, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to quit, and I'm going to go to beauty school. It was like, you going to do what? Quit job? This is tax-free money, Patrick. You going to do what? I said, I'm going to quit. I'm going to quit, and I'm going to move back, to the States and, find a beauty school to go to. So I asked the young lady I was dating which school to go to. And back then, Dudley, ruled the planet.
Right.
So she go to this school called Dudley University. So she said, go there. I went there, and the rest is history. Yeah.
That's pretty phenomenal. Your start in the industry is a lot different than a lot of people start in the industry.
Yeah, the rest is history.
Yeah.
So for all that money to come and make, 20 times over that, is just amazing by itself. But, I was definitely dedicated, like anything that I do.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be the best. I wasn't just going to come in the industry and just, settle for being average. So, I saw you, I saw Barry Fletcher, Floyd Kenyatta, and all the other people out there. I'm like, well, whatever they doing, I'm just going to copy them, and I'm going to try to go from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you absolutely have. It's like you've just gone shoo. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
So one of the things with color, this is our hair color month, and so you're our last, and it's like I think we're ending on a bang here with you and hair color. But one of the things, just thinking about how we've transpired between like 20 years ago, there was some demand for hair color, some of us that were doing hair color, but nothing like today where people are requesting it. But, we've got all the different colors, we've got color lines, we've got all of this stuff that's going on in the industry color wise. And I was like, a lot of times Black stylists had been very timid with hair color. And so they hadn't even really been wanting to learn, or if they learned, they still weren't, comfortable, putting a actual color on a client and saying, or knowing that this is how it's going to turn out. And so we've gone from there, not that long ago, to all of these fabulous colorists in the country. And I started thinking, it's like, I think that Dudley really started educating Black hairstylists on doing hair color. And I think that's was the seed. And it seems like you kind of picked up the ball. There's a couple of, other educators obviously out there, that are excelling at helping more Black stylists to become colorists. But is that something that you would say is accurate, since you have the Dudley background?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, back when I first started, especially if you was doing relaxer, and most back in those days got relaxers. And if you got color, the whole program, you got to wait 2 weeks later to do color or anything like that. And if people got color, it was normally black, brown, and red, temporary. And if they got blonde, it was just honey blonde. You just put the light, let it sit there, and you take it off, and that's how you leave out the door. Yeah. So now it's like golly, it's 1,000 times better now because of education. And back when I worked with Baruch, they were trying to create a relaxer system where you can relax and color on the same day, but it just wouldn't kick off. It just wouldn't kind of get it together. And me and the director of the company kind of bumped heads on what I saw as a vision of relaxer and color, and what he saw as his vision. So I just said, what, let me just go ahead and just do my own thing, because I kind of have my idea, and I have my idea of what relaxer and color should be and how it can kind of coincide together. And that's kind of like what I kind of did later on throughout my career. But color is something big for our industry now, because back in the day it was normally a white thing. It was normally white people doing hair color, the pretty blondes and different things. And us, again, it was just black, red, and brown. So it wasn't all shades and tones of blondes and colors and all of these golly, just crazy unicorn colors that we have today.
Right.
So it's amazing how time flies. But, again, it comes with education and technology.
Right, right. Do you still feel like there are some gaps, I guess, with education and Black hairstylist and color? And what do you see as like the biggest challenges, that we have?
Education, because every time I post something, I'm just speaking for me, every time I post a relaxer and color on the same day, you get people commenting like, well, I want to see her hair in 2 weeks, or I want to see what her hair looks like in a month. I'm like it's going to look the same way, But I think what it is we've been educated so long, and it starts at beauty school. How in beauty school they'll tell you, you can't do this and you can't do that, or you can't use a 40 volume, or you can't do that. So it starts at beauty school, and then you're only as smart as the person teaching you. So if you get education that's old and outdated, you're going to have that same mentality. So it's more or less like going to the right classes and going to the right classes, not based on how many followers you have, and not based on how many likes you have, going to a class with a great educator where you can get the results right then just from the information. And that's what a lot of people have to do now. So the gap that we have now is more or less like, do I really believe the hype? And is this information true? And, like, I want to see the hair, a month from now break off because I don't believe, because this is what I was taught, and different things like that.
Yeah. And talk to us a little bit about the impact that color can have on our business, because I saw a video a few days ago where an educator was actually in a salon, and I don't know if it was new or, and they were all masked up, or if it was something older, but, she was asking the salon team that was there, for their color book, and they didn't have one. And so she was like, do you guys know how much you're leaving on the table just from not doing color? So tell us, like your observation of what color can do as far as our business.
Well, color can make you $1,000 plus per day, doing less than 10 heads per day. You can do a couple of heads a day. I know my wife does it now. She may do 3 or 4 colors, and she's bringing home $1,600 in a day. So color can really, boost your income tremendously. I don't think people should do color less than 150. I'm talking about tiny hair or a couple of panels. So by doing, let's say, I love numbers. So let's say if you do 3 colors a day at 150, you know what I'm saying? Or even if you do, let's say 200, that's $600 with 3 colors.
Right.
That's not including the other, if you're doing 10 heads, that's not even including the other 7 heads you got to do. So that's an easy way to achieve. If you want to make $1,000 per day, or you want to make more, that's an easy way to go about that. Because color, just like anything, once you do one beautiful color, it's going to attract people that want to get beautiful color. And if you do a relaxer in color on the same day, or relaxer in color in general, it's going to attract more people that want to keep their relaxer and get color. Once you do one very, very well, and her hair stays on the head,
right, you
attract all of her friends. And that's even more, because with me, I'm charging $400 plus for relaxer color on the same day. $550, $600, easy.
Okay. And I don't even know if I really welcomed everybody, but it's like, I hope y'all are listening. And if you have questions, to put them in the chat box if you're on the webinar, so that we can leave a little time toward the end to get to them. Or if you have something that's kind of pressing about what he's talking about right now, because I think it's so important that we really bridge the creative with the business and the money-making piece, that I want people to get it. So if you're saying like 150 a day, I mean, not a day, of per client, minimum with color, and like your example, 3 clients, that's 450. No, that's 600. Where do we? Oh, okay. I know you said 200, so it's 450 with 3, or if they charge.
450 is still good with 3 people.
Exactly. And we're in a, I want to call it post-COVID, but we're in the middle of COVID right now, world where we literally can't do the double booking. It's like, I don't know if you're doing 10 clients a day anymore, but it's like I'm advising people to kind of space it out so that they have some time to clean, because we really not only have to sanitize the salon, but sterilize it in between. you know, the entire salon in between, and plus like go outside and take that mask off and get some fresh air. And so, you know, my suggestion is to have the higher tickets, do a few people, you know, however many is comfortable, and go home.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are loving that more than the 10 clients a day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, and that's how I've been operating my whole entire career. Anyway, I got abused so much as a kid going to the salon with my mom. Salon with her, watching her stylist do 20 heads, you know, and taking walk-ins, and you sitting there all day with your mom, and she watching the stories, and the stylist watching the stories, prancing around the salon. So when I decided to do hair, I said, I'm not going to keep Black women in here all day.
Right.
So my whole thing was, you know, 8 to 10 people a day. That's it. I'm spacing everybody out an hour and a half apart my whole entire career. So when they said COVID, you know, this was nothing to me, because I've been doing this my whole career. So I'm cool.
I'm with you on that one.
But this is the time now to up your prices. This is the time.
So tell us how to have that conversation, because I think that's the challenge for a lot of people. It's like, when you say raise your prices, it's like we get stuck. And so what would you suggest as far as like a conversation or posting something in your salon, or what's your thought?
Well, to me, it's no conversation. If you're already great at what you do, these are the prices. You know, and I always use simple guidelines. If you go to the grocery store tomorrow, Mickey, all right, and let's say eggs is your favorite food. Watch this right here. Does anybody from the egg department send you any information saying eggs are going to go up in next week?
No, haven't gotten that one.
Does beans, steak, does anybody send you a letter saying that they're going to go up? Or when you get that, or is that the price?
That's usually the price. Yep.
There it is. It's no. If you're great at what you do, you're professional, you don't have your clients sitting there all day long, you're doing great work. When you go up, that's what you're doing. You're going up. It's no explanation. It's no nothing. When you go to Louis Vuitton, the prices never go down. When you go to Chanel, the prices always go up. So nobody's sending you a letter saying, hey, we going up, we going on sale, we doing this. It is what it is. You're great, and they should expect you to go up. Plain and simple, no conversation.
So tell us what happens. Like, how do you present that at the end of the service or the beginning of the service? How are you doing that?
Well, you know, I went up due to, you know, me wanting to get a raise, or you can say, hey, because of COVID, you know, we had to adjust our prices, you know, due to this or that. But, you know, forget COVID, you know, just if COVID ever happened, were you going to go up on your prices? I would hope so. So, you know, I wanted to go up on my prices, because your client is not going to tell you, hey, I got a raise today, Mickey. No, you can charge me more now. You're never going to hear that. And your client's never going to take that, because she'd be cool with the same $20 shampoo and service that she got, you know, 20 years ago. So
I hope that nobody's doing that. That's what I want to hope.
I hope not too. But the thing of it is, you know, you just go up, and then even if she doesn't want to pay that at that time, well, this is what the price is, you know. And my thing is, I gave myself a raise. Well, my clients never ask. My clients been coming to me for, you know, 10, 12, 15 years. They still today ask me, how much is it, Patrick? How much is the service? How much is it? You know, what do you hit me for today? So nobody just assumes that this is what the price is today. Every client, if you had a video camera, just watch all my clients, they'll all ask the same thing. How much is it? Because they don't know whether I'm going to go up, because they know who chair they're sitting in. And you should have the same feeling about your brand. You are the Louis Vuitton of your era. You the Louis Vuitton, you the Chanel in your city, you know, but you have to, you know, make sure you educate yourself, make sure you study all the time, make sure you research all the time, and it's going to show in your work. So your clients, they're going to be prepared to pay you that extra money. And if they're not, then you get out, and there's somebody else ready to take your seat.
Okay. So I definitely hear a lot of confidence, which is not surprising at all. But yeah. So any like it sounds like you had that drive when you were in the Army, when you got into the hair and all of that. Any ideas where that came from?
Yeah, Army.
Yeah,
I mean, the Army, you know, they always kind of set you up to be, you know, like better than the enemy. Like, you know, like I was in Desert Storm, so they teach you, you know, when you go out here, you're a guy. Nobody's going to kill you. You know, you're going to be the killer. You're going to kill everybody in front of you. So that's how they teach you. You have to be confident in everything that you do. And I think when you're confident, your clients believe in what you say, they believe in what you do, and you become more confident too, because when you study and you know your stuff, like me, like you can't ask me a color question on this planet that I can't answer, because I always research all throughout the week, because I educate people all over the world. So I think if you go in and each person studies, I mean, don't just study before, you take a test. I'm talking about study like you want to be one of the greats in the industry, or you want to be a great lawyer or a great basketball player. That means you got to shoot 1,000 free throws like Kobe or Mike. If you're going to be great, you got to do what great people are going to do.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. I hope everybody takes a moment to digest that. I don't know if you guys know Charles Gregory, but he was an exceptional leader in our industry, and ended his career in film and television. Unfortunately, he passed away from COVID, but it reminds me, I interviewed him several years ago. He did Medea's hair. He worked for Tyler Perry's studios for a while, and so he did the wigs and stuff for that. But when we spoke, and this was many years ago now, I see you got your
Oh, really cool.
All right. But he was saying, like, he could tell you like different quotes, like word for word, out of the Milady cosmetology book, because he studied his book. He studied period hair. He studied all of this stuff. And so, you kind of tend, what I hear is people tend to look at people who get to a certain point and say, yeah, well, if I got to that point, then I would do that too. And it's the reverse that's really in place. It's like he did all of that stuff, and that's why he got to, be Tyler Perry's head, department head or what have you. And the same thing you're saying is like, you are implanting all the stuff that you want and that you need for yourself, not because of some external something that's waiting for you, or you have to take a test today, or you have to do this. It's like, that has to be in there from the beginning, is what I'm hearing.
You have to want it. You have to want it. And that was my whole thing, like I said, from being, on the wrestling team in high school to wrestling, on the U.S. national team, I've been an alternate for the Olympics, or been in the Army, just, as a leader, as a sergeant, wanting to be, the highest level. And I know if I wanted to get to the highest level in the Army, I had to go and ask questions like, how did you get there? How did you do this? How did you get that rank? What did you do? So I'm always inquisitive. I'm always asking questions so I can know what I had to do. And that's the problem today, is people don't want to ask questions. They want to assume, they want to guess, and they want to just, like go way around. Just all you got to do is ask questions. But then when you ask a question, you got to be willing to go out there and do what it takes to be great. And a lot of people today just don't want to do it. Hey, Patrick, I want to do just like you. I want to be just like you when I get in the industry. Okay, well, this is what I do. Had to go out there before we had social media, we had to pass our cards.
Right.
Pass flyers. Nobody, if social media was to quit right now today, if it was no Facebook, no Instagram, it'd be a whole bunch of broke stylists.
Right.
I mean, it'll be broke down because they wouldn't know what the heck to do.
Right. Yeah, it's I think really interesting. I mean, I think you're really hitting on some interesting points as far as doing what it takes, and that how do you find that humility for yourself and for others? Like, I know you've had various mentors in the industry. Can you share like what your experience has been with working with them?
I think I got lucky with being around everybody at Dudley's, because I came in at the right time when they were like the apex. They were like, the king dinosaurs in the industry. So I saw every major educator in the world came through Dudley's, and I was a beauty student there, just watching everybody come through. So every weekend I would see them at Dudley Advanced Department. Your Barry Fletchers, your Floyd Kenyattas, I would see everybody that you even know of. I would see everybody. So what I would do is, when I got out of beauty school, I would go over to the advanced department and stay over there till like 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, just watching them talk, watching them educate, trying to get knowledge and different things like that, And I'm always a big believer in, if you want to succeed in anything, the easiest thing you can do is be nice. Be nice. Don't brag. Don't be boastful. Say thank you. Just small things like that, you know, and you don't have to go out and say, hey, I'm the greatest, I'm the greatest. It'll show in your work if you are.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You know, so my thing is, you know, just watching, you know, other people and taking notes and different things like that definitely helped me out. Of course, my mom, you know, always say thank you, say thank you, say thank you, you know, Jesus bigger than you, you know, so, you know, so just stuff like that, you know, just kept me, you know, very, very humbled and different things like that. And it's always somebody bigger and better than you. Mm-hmm. So never talk about them, just try to learn from them if you like their style.
Right, right. Yeah, I posted an interesting question the other day. It's like, can you learn from someone who you don't like or who doesn't like you? And that was from one of our other interviews with Joy.
Yeah, probably heck no. There's a lot of people today, you know, this hater thing is like, it's ridiculous. Like, I you know, that people will probably go to their grave because they don't like somebody and don't want to learn from it. So they go to their grave just hating it versus just like, you know what? Regardless of whether you like somebody or like them or whatever, you know, if you can learn something to help you out, take what you need and whatever you don't need, put it to the side. Right. But it's total difference. That's why, and I know we're not talking about race. Like, if I was a Klan member, mm-hmm. I would throw away my cape because we're bigger haters and bigger racists than white folks are. Mm-hmm. They can sit back and just place bets. I bet it's going to be about 20 murders over here today. I bet it's going to be about 20 murders over there this weekend. They can sit back and just play and place bets and just bet on what kind of craziness we're going to do to each other.
Right.
Like bananas, but I would put my cape up. I'm not going to jail for nobody. I'm going to watch them hate and murder and do crazy stuff to themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's sad but true. But yeah. I love, you know, that you've always been a person to elevate people, you know, to be that beacon of light and to be that showcase of this is what it's, you know, this is what it takes to do what I'm doing, and that level of excellence. And so it's like, I always love that about you and, you know, all the educators that are out here doing something. It takes that, you know, to be able to get to that level in the first place, but not everybody maintains it over a long period of time.
I think that's better too when you help people, because I think you get more out of it. I mean, you're an educator too. Mm-hmm. I think I learn even more when I'm educating people, because you're like, oh wow, I can do this, I can do that. So you're teaching, but you're still learning at the same time.
Right. Yeah, and plus you have to prepare to teach. That people don't always think about that piece, and that's how Beauty Superstars originally got started, because I was doing the hair part, you know, on stage and all of that, and like you, people come up, it's like, oh, I want to do what you do, and it's like, do you really want to do what I do? You know, so because what'd you say?
I said all those long hours.
Yes, yeah. Is, you know, leaving the salon after working all week and jumping on a plane, not getting to eat, go to model call, up, you know, at 4 a.m. to get prepped, and, you know, all the things that go into it. And, you know, most people are just like, oh, you know, like, well, I don't really want to do that, you know.
Yeah, this is a vacation for me, so I'm enjoying this. Cause I know it's not going to be this way for long, so I'm enjoying this little vacation here.
Right. So what are you like in COVID, you know, COVID land for you? Because you're not traveling, obviously. Are you back in the salon?
You know, I'm in the salon, you know, doing hair, not as much hair, but I still make the same amount of money. Mm-hmm. But now I get a chance to kind of shift gears and go more. I have an investment group now, just showing people how to not just color and cut, but what are you doing with your color and cutting money? Right. So now, how to, you know, invest their money, because now if COVID hasn't shown anybody anything, you just can't have no, you know, $2,000 in your bank account, because what happens if you like February, March, April, May, June, July, August, and you still slow down and you're still in this particular market? You got to have money saved up, you know, and this just shows you right now you got to do something other than clicking curl irons. Mm-hmm. So my thing now is, you know, not just showing stylists how to cut the colors, showing them how to make money while they sleep. I was talking to a stylist today, and I was trying to get her to, you know, make sure that she joins my group. Like, I'm like, today I made like $2,500 a day. And she was like, doing what? I'm like, doing nothing but talking to you right now. Because once you invest a certain amount, and I deal with the stock market, you know, they were like, well, I don't know anything about the stock market. You learn, just like anything. You
Mm-hmm.
read. You research, and then when you think you know it, you go back and you study again. But it's best to be in a group, whether it's a hair group where you can learn color, whether it's a cutting group, a weave group, a business group. You get in groups so you can get all the information. So I set up a group. We have about maybe 50 members now, just showing them how to understand what is the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ 500,
Wow.
the things on how to invest money. Well, how much do you invest, Patrick? You can invest $5 if you want to, but you're going to get back a $5 return. So the thing of it is you can start somewhere. It's just, well, either am I too young? Am I too old? You're never either or. You have to just start, and it does take a lot to invest. You just got to figure out what to invest in. And that's why with my group, I do all the research. They just got to have their money ready. So when I say, hey, XYZ, put it here, put it there. So I give out recommendations, but I still go back and tell them, make sure you research behind my research to see if this is the company that you want to invest in. So I tell them quickly, forget the Louis bag, buy the Louis company.
Right.
Eating at McDonald's every day, go buy McDonald's stock, and so on and so on and so on, because it's different versus being a consumer. Why just want to buy clothes versus me investing into that particular company. That's the difference.
Yeah. I think that's so powerful. And, it's like we definitely need the education as far as, like where to start, how to start, and then, it's like, then the fear factor of like, oh my goodness, it's like, if I put $5 in, am I going to lose $5 and all of those kind of things. So it's like, I think it's
put $5 in your savings account and watch what happens to it in 30 days in savings. You know what's going to happen? Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah. And if you got fees attached to your account,
right,
it's probably going to go.
Right.
Money and savings is like a thing of the past. You save to invest, plain and simple. You save to invest. So put your $5 in an investment where that $5 turns into 10, where that 10 turns into 50, and 50 turns into 1,500, and that 50 turns into 2,500 and 25,000, and so on and so on. So that's the name of the game.
Right. Okay. Well, it's like we'll definitely have to get some contact information so people can find out more, because I think this, like you said, is, if it's shown us anything, is that we need to get prepared for something other than we've been preparing for. And some of the stuff we already knew we needed to be doing and we weren't doing. So I think it's no sense in like beating yourself up, but let's start now, because
basically at the end of the day, it's who you hang with. So you're a group of people. Like, would you rather be in a group of people that are broke, or would you rather be in a group of people that talk about making money, talking about stocks and investing and different things like that? Because broke people are going to only generate broke people's conversations.
Right.
Millionaires are only going to generate millionaire conversations, and billionaires, the same thing. So it's all about who you hang with, and then once you get the information, what kind of actions are you going to take with that?
Yeah, that's always the key, that action. So let's switch back a little bit to, because I think like what we're just talking about is so important, and we've probably spent a couple hours talking about that. But tell us, like, we heard how you got started in the beauty industry, but how did you get like as focused as you are into color?
When I broke somebody's hair off years ago, when I first started in New Jersey, I broke his client's hair off. She asked to be blonde. And I said, okay, cool. She said, can you do blonde? I'm like, yeah, I can do blonde. I'm still confident. I see everybody doing, blondes around the salon. So she came in, hair down to here. So I put the blonde on, and I watched her. And again, you're only as smart as the people you hang around. So I watched everybody around me. So I put the blonde on, put a plastic cap on her head. I set up under the dryer with the lightener. Start doing somebody else's hair. So I doing somebody's hair, this and that. So I kept looking at her up under the dryer. You good? She's like, no, I'm good. So I kept doing my client's hair, boom, 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 boom. Kept looking at her, you good? She said, yeah, I'm good. She gave me thumbs up. So when I got done with my client, went over to the dryer to pull her out, I could smell the ammonia and everything, crazy. So when I pulled the cap off, that hair just like this. So I instantly make you start sweating. So that was the longest walk to the shampoo bowl ever in history, because I had a feeling that it was pretty much done. Because the hair was like super, super white. She was relaxed, because I didn't do any natural hair back then. So went to the bowl, I turned the water pressure on super low pressure because I knew with high pressure, it's going to slide off. So the hair started sliding off. The water started backing up in the sink. I was like, golly, this is awful. Hair started sliding off. So I'm like, man, I don't know what to do. So I'm just, heart just jumping out of my shirt. I mean, beating, so I'm like, I'm done. I'm done. This is before social media. So I'm just talking to her. Why don't you cut your hair? All this long hair you got, this short hair will look really, really good on you. I don't want to cut my hair. She looking up at me from the bowl. I don't want to cut my hair. My husband, I'm telling you, short hair will be you. Short hair will be you. It'll be you. I'm telling you, cut all this long hair off. I'll do it for you for free if you cut it. So I cut her hair. She let me cut her hair, and I cut it right there at the bowl, too, while she was leaning back. I just chop, cut her hair and everything, and walked her back over to the chair with this towel over her head, So I molded her hair down. I said, you know what? Once she got done, don't put any heat on your hair. You just rock this hair. Curls. No curls. That's the way to go. No curls. I could cut. So I did go to some dope cutting classes. So did a beautiful pixie cut on her, and I didn't put any heat on it, just kind of bedheaded it, know. And after that, I watched every hair color video. The first video I ever bought, I got it from it was from some guy at either Matrix or Reckin at the show in New York. What is it called?
IBS or
IBS. The video $300 back then. Mm-hmm. That video, I was watching. In the video was probably, and it came with a booklet. I watched it every single day for about 4 months until I understood what the heck was going on. And then I went to every kind of color class I could go to. And long story short, I can really, do the thing now. But that really made me, once you break somebody's hair off,
right,
that's when out of the industry, I'll make you not do color or really just, I'm not going to let it defeat me. I'm going to really, really learn this color thing. Mm-hmm. That's what I did. I just started learning and taking classes as much as I could.
Yeah, that's the
it was scary.
We had, I think we had a comment here. That's the best. Let me see. Yeah. That's the best color went wrong story I've ever heard.
Yeah. It was awful. So of course, Harold, I didn't come to work the next day because I just thought they called me and said, hey, what did you do? So I was sick. I'm telling you.
Okay.
I instantly got sick because I just knew that, that somebody would call and she gonna call, speak to the boss of the salon and be like, right. Like, what did he do? And next thing you know, I started getting all kind of phone calls, but about the haircut. Yeah. Not really the color, about the haircut, So, can you cut my hair like this? I don't have to curl it. So, golly, man. It's crazy.
A little grace and mercy and a lot of confidence. And quick thinking.
You may think it's good, but that junk, it was toe up ugly. That junk broke off. I just saved it with a dope haircut. That's
right,
it. That's
right.
Coming out of beauty school, I was the best that Douglas had as a student, right. So when you get into the real world, hold on, this is total different.
It is.
Big boys play it. You can't do that beauty school stuff, make everybody hair white and think you're just going to throw color on it and it's going to be all good. No way. It didn't happen to me like that. No,
yeah. It was yeah, well, definitely, I think the things that we have failings at will teach us. Is the best teachers.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, well, that was good. I'm glad we got to hear about that. I think that will encourage somebody. It's like if you had a challenge, keep going.
Yeah, keep going, study. And it's not to say that you're never going to mess up again, because I've messed up throughout my career, but you get to the point to where you can fix your own mistakes. Mm-hmm. If you're very, very knowledgeable of what's going on. Like if you mess up a color or turn somebody's hair green, you put something red on it, red shampoo, red conditioner, something with a green base or ash base. But once you get to that point, you can fix your own mistakes. But if you don't study, you'd be calling 1-800-CLERA like I was all the time.
Okay. Yeah. And that's not a problem either. It's like, but start to study so you don't have to run to the back room. It's like, okay, what do I do now?
Every week calling 1-800-CLERA. I'm not even sure they even have that number anymore.
Okay. Right. But sure say it was a lifesaver.
Yeah. It's again.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I think we all have some kind of stories. It's like this blonde lady is coming to my mind as you're talking about that. That it's like it went every which way, but the right way. So we were
Yeah,
there until 12, 1 in the morning, trying to correct the correction to the correction of the correction. It was.
yeah, I got you.
Is this thing ever gonna get the right shade?
Just say forget it. This look good on you.
Yeah. I think we finally got it right, but boy, I was like, shoosh.
Yeah.
Never want to do that all again.
Mm-hmm.
But so we got the color story. So how did you get to be in education and building the, the brand and that type of thing that you have built?
Well, again, following behind Mr. Dudley, just, being around a millionaire, a multi-millionaire, because back when I was there, the company itself was worth almost $100 million back then. And sitting in meetings and different things like that and watching what he did. Look, again, it's very, very easy to be successful if you just follow somebody else's blueprint that's already done it. So watching him, listening to him, and Mr. Dudley always kept smart people around him. So I'm watching him, listening to other people. So, it was fairly easy for me. Like I said, I went to Dudley's at the right time, and everybody is not that lucky to do that. They got to go the long route, but I was kind of right there. But still, I could have blew it because I could have easily said, you know what? Hey, I'm here at beauty school, 10 guys in the whole school, 300 women. I could have just been partying my life away, got a whole bunch of money saved up in the bank. I could have just been, not dead party because I had a whole bunch of pajama jams and everything there because I was just young and dumb. But I could have blew it, but I definitely took advantage of the situation, just being around him and just soaking up everything that he did, from what he did, Mr. Dudley did, watching, like I said, Barry Fletcher, Maurice Lemons, just watching everybody. When I would go to Bonner Brothers show, watching all the other greats do that thing, and I would just take down notes of everything, like what made the crowd move, what made the crowd clap, I mean, how they turned, how Barry dressed. I'm tell you, I told Barry this too. Every suit that Barry ever had, I would go out and get the same suit made. Because I loved his whole style.
Right.
I said, I want to be just like him.
Okay.
Because I wanted to copy everything that he did. When I saw Robert Cromans from Paul Mitchell,
right,
I loved his style and what he did. Tony and Guy, Anthony Muscolo, Tony Muscolo. I saw all their styles. So everything I kind of saw around the world from different people that I saw, I just kind of picked up different things and just added it to my own thing, and just kind of, went with it and made it my own.
Right. Yeah, it's like that's powerful to hear, just seeing and taking in the notes and taking in, the mental notes. And because I would venture to say there are a lot of people there when you were there who didn't take that ball and run with it.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah.
Only 3 people out of all the people that I know. I mean, like one person, I went to school at Dudley's. Of course, he did Michelle Obama's hair. When she was in the office with Obama. Johnny. Johnny. Micheline Barber. She came out maybe like about 2 or 3 years before I did.
Okay.
She's doing great with her thing. And like I said, who else? Kia. I think you had Kia on before too, right?
Yes. Kia artistically.
Yeah. They went to school together.
Who was that?
Kia.
Kia, and who else? You broke up a little bit.
That was it, just Kia.
Okay, with you, she was in
my class.
In your class, okay.
She can tell you everything crazy that I did. She'll tell you. I
might have to have her back again. Just for that.
Yeah, so it's like I said, it's only a handful, maybe 4 or 5 people that have really, really excelled. But that's just I guess my view of excelling, because everybody excels at where they want to excel, because everybody don't want to be in my spot. Everybody wants to be at their own level of success, But as far as like being educators on a global level, maybe like about 3 or 4,
Right, right. Yeah, yeah. But I mean, I'm always fascinated by people who are successful and hearing their stories and that type of thing, which is why I love, just having these conversations and getting to know the person, because it's like you see you on stage and you have a certain perception of, it's like, oh, well, this is who Patric is and what have you. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, I love getting behind the scenes and hearing the stories that got you there, because it's like none of us just, stepped up one day and it's like we were great colorists.
And you know what though? The funny thing is with Dudley's, they actually threw me on. I was an assistant with Dudley's. I never dreamed of actually being on stage. I was too nervous to speak in public. So somebody got sick at the summer show at Barner Brothers. The summer show back in the day, it was huge.
Right.
And sick, and they called me to come be an educator and take their spot on stage. I'm like, what? Go on stage and say what? Like, I gotta go on stage. I'm talking about, I was sweating buckets of water. So I went on stage. I didn't say one word. I don't think I said one word. And then when it was time for me to leave, back then we had stoves. The stoves,
Yep.
big stoves. I turned the stove off, but I forgot, and I picked it up with my hand and burned. I mean, I screamed so loud inside. Oh my God! It was because I was so ready to get off stage. I picked the stove up with both my hands.
Oh my God!
You couldn't see any prints at all. I mean, it was. I was done for like 3 or 4 days.
Wow.
Yeah, that was my first time getting on stage, but they forced me to go on stage, and after that, I was like, oh wow, I like this. This is dope. See people kind of standing around watching you do whatever you do.
Right.
Yeah.
So how did you get, because your story sounds a lot like mine with being on stage for the first time where I had to speak. How did you get beyond that part?
Well, again, just watching other educators, watching them and watching what they did. And then Mr. Dudley, they would have speaking events every at Dudley's. I'm not sure if you remember that, but they had speaking events every Tuesday that Micheline would get in and other people would get in and just talk. I never got into them, but I would just watch them and watch how the crowd moved and watch how the crowd reacted. I'm like, golly, that's dope how they doing that. Never knowing that I would be up there one day doing that. And just, and I say, let me just go ahead and give this thing a try. And then when I end up getting better and better and better at what I was doing, people started noticing. And that let them, needed an art director. They needed an artistic director. Barry had did his thing, and Maurice Lemons had did his thing. And of course, I said in beauty school, hey, I want to be like Barry. So here's the opportunity. Do you want to do it? I'm like, I try it. I can do it. So I end up following in Barry's footsteps doing that. So I was forced to do it. I was kind of forced into that position with, being able to talk in front of people because that's what I had to do. So every day I had to speak in front of new stylists that came into Dudley's to get educational classes. So, and then of course traveling and doing the same thing. So if I knew I had to travel, I knew I had to study. I knew I had to get better. And I watched a lot of talking videos and speaking in public videos and different things like that, which I hated. I said, let me just find my own little way and do my own. I said, I want to be comfortable, doing it. I'm just going to show my own thing on stage. And that's what I did.
Yeah.
That's going to be.
Yeah, but it's inspiring because I think sometimes people think that people are born with, the knack for it, or, born with a microphone in their hand. It's like, okay.
I was definitely scared to death. Definitely scared. No microphone in my hand at all.
Okay.
Yes.
So I hope that encourages someone to be able to know that you can get beyond, where you think you can get to do the things that you want to do.
I gotta go out there and try.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, you've been at this a little while. So how do you maintain, and, you've probably already answered it for us, but like your definitely your work speaks for itself, and, the technical side, the creative side, and all of that kind of stuff. But how do you feel like you keep yourself so relevant in this evolving industry?
Well, I think it's more or less like just researching and seeing what other people are doing around the world, and right now it's at your fingertips.
Right.
So you can go to Korean hairstyles, Nigerian hairstyles, UK, Barbados. You can just travel all around the world just with your fingers, seeing what other people are doing. And then anybody that's great in the educational world right now, I'm always close with them to see what they're doing, to hear what they've done. I'm watching from a distance, looking at everything. So I stay busy researching to make sure that I'm on point with what I'm trying to do. And this being, trying to come up with, new ideas and, better ideas, with what I've already taught. And some stuff never changes, like color
right,
is not going to change. Techniques may change, but the basics of color is never going to change. Green is going to always neutralize red. I don't care, polishing nails or painting the house or painting the car or whatever. Some stuff is going to be what it is. Right. So my thing is, and what I've learned throughout the education arena is not trying to really like learn all these uppity words and trying to, make people look bad, but making it easy for people to learn and making it simple so they can go back and make money. So I love hearing people say, oh my God, you made that so easy. I've learned so much in this small amount of time, and this is what I'm making now. This is what I made before your class. So I love hearing stories like that.
Right.
I don't like people that come to class and complain, and then when you give them the information, they don't go and utilize it. I hate that. So I love to see stories and hear stories like that with people learning, getting the information and saying, hey, Patrick, guess what I did? This is what I did. Show me a picture. I was doing this and now I'm doing this. So I love stuff like this. So what probably keeps me motivated the most is hearing those stories. And that'll know that I'm staying on the right direction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like, I'm with you. It's like those stories are motivating. And then just taking that energy, like, how do you get what do you think sparks your creativity even more so than the motivation from that? But what are the things, like you said, you're traveling around the world with your fingertips, is it usually hairstyles that kind of say, ooh, well, what if we took this and did that? Or is it, like, I know you do photography and makeup and all of that. Are there things outside of the industry that spark some of your creativity?
I think the industry itself is very creative. I think now we're pretty much at a standstill. Like, I'm tired of seeing balayage. Everything is balayage. Like, is there anything new? So, just watching old stuff, being able to like tweak it and do something different with that, So I'm always looking at older. So I'm going back to look at older stuff now.
Okay.
Just watching different ways that we can tweak stuff, and that's it. So that's my thing now, because everything kind of goes around in a circle. The sun is round, the moon is round, the earth is round, so everything kind of repeats. Like waves came back. I'm not a big wave guy. I love waves back in the 90s, but I'm not going to do them today. But I don't care how pretty they are today. It's not me. Mm-hmm. But I think it's trying to just figure out different ways of just doing old versions of different things like that, And I try to put myself I try to put myself on a pedestal in a good way. Mm-hmm. So I try to force myself. If I'm supposed to be this great, then what am I doing to be great? So I force myself to go out and study. I force myself to go out and just research, because if people say, oh, Patrick, you're this, Patrick, you're that. Okay, well, that's cool. I'm glad you see that. But now I got to make sure that I'm really that. So right. I make myself, I force myself to go out there and research and educate and research. And that's why I did the relaxer and color on the same day. Like, see, you can do this thing, And I think as a kid, this is why, I wear hats like that, Muhammad Ali, because what he inspired me to say back then was, I'm the greatest. And I think everybody should have that same mentality, but just like him, you got to put in work. So if you're going to be one of the greatest, you can't just say you're the greatest and you don't have anything to show for it. You got to put in work. So I don't mind people saying, Patrick, you're the greatest, you're good, you're this, you're that, but I got to know for myself. So I force myself to go out there and study and try to put out some great, authentic type material. Mm-hmm. And it's hard.
Yeah. Well, you're doing it. It's like that one image I posted with the blonde with the kind of smudge and the red. It's like that was edgy. I like that.
Blondes and Surpass DVD.
What is it?
It's from the Blondes Unsurpassed DVD.
Okay.
Yeah.
Blondes Unsurpassed. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so, one of the things I did want to talk to you about is like relaxers. Like, so many people have gone natural. What has you still using relaxers and still having relaxer available for us to be able to use in our salons?
I just love relaxed hair.
Mm-hmm.
I love relaxed hair. I mean, I came in the industry when that was, the thing to do. Mm-hmm. Nobody was natural back in those days. So right. I think people shied away from it because you would listen to, relaxers broke my hair off, relaxers did this, relaxers did that, And just like anything, like, no, the relaxer didn't break your hair off. It was either you doing your hair at home or either your stylist going through with a fine tooth comb, making your hair bone straight. So I'm saying, like, to myself, and this is me at Farouk, like, why wasn't Farouk's system working in the, I forget the name of the product, but I think it was Deep Brilliance. And I'm pretty sure they probably got it together now. Mm-hmm. But like, why couldn't we get relaxer and color to coincide together? Either the relaxer was too high or either color just had straight ammonia in it. Mm-hmm. So my thing was to kind of figure out both of them. Why is the hair breaking off with just relaxed hair by itself? Why? Because the relaxer was too strong, and then B, we too busy making the hair bone straight, listening to the clients. And I think they had a relaxer called Bone Straight back in the day. They still don't have it today. Yeah. So it just misinformation, and people just, I'm one to say never listen to the client. Because the client, she just comes in and she just, can I get this? Here's a picture. Can you see this? And like, I want her look. Like, no, but that's not you.
Right.
Her hair, her face, her texture, her density. We're going to work with what your hair can give us. Right. So with relaxers, my job was to make the relaxer easier on the hair and make it what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to relax the texture, not make the hair straight.
Right.
So that was my whole focus with that. And then, creating a lighter line that could be put on relaxed hair that can make both of them live together without breaking off. But of course, the education is what really, really makes everything move, because people could take my relaxer and they could take my lightener and screw it all up if they don't educate themselves.
Yeah, I'm sure that would be easy to do, actually.
Yeah.
If you don't get some education.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you have colors or you have the lightener only?
Yeah, we have a lightener system, and then we have our hair paints, which are direct dyes. So we have red, yellow, blue, and white. And then out of those 4 colors, you can make over 140 different shades.
Okay.
And I like that because that's what they taught you in beauty school. I mean, they said that. They said, hey, with primary colors, you can make any color in the world. So I'm like, all right, well, let's see.
Right.
That's it. Yeah, so that's my whole thing. I said, well, we really can't do that. So that's why I came out with the white. Because with the white, now you can make every color in the world. Now we can take this rich red, and then once we start adding white to it, you can start making pink. Mm-hmm. And so on and so on and so on.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And so those don't have a developer component with them. They're just direct dye.
Straight dye. And you can make blondes. You can make anything you want to make. But of course, you just got to know how to mix. That's all it is.
Okay. And so you're typically using that over hair that's been pre-lightened, or use it on natural hair as well?
Use on natural hair as well.
Both. Okay.
Yeah. But of course, if it's pre-lightened, you'll see it.
Right. Right. Yeah. Just with, like everything that's been going on in the industry, and because Black people are doing so much more color, it just stands out to me that we don't really have any, and maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know of any other lines that are produced or manufactured by Black companies with all of the color, choices that we have with a lot of the, traditional lines. So I'm just wanting to see what, what options we do have to support Black businesses. And so the P Element lightener sounds like it's great. It sounds like the direct dyes.
Oh yeah, it goes with ammonia free. It gives you up to 8 levels of lift. I mean, it's a violet-based lightener. We have a built-in bond builder, so it lifts and strengthens the hair at the same time. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I did the hair paints, the primary colors, is because why would you go out and buy 160 shades when you can make 160 shades and spend less?
Right.
So basically, you just taking your smarts and learning how to mix. You can make any color you want to make.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Versus buying this one pink off the shelf. But what happens if that pink runs out or you can't make that same pink? You know, so my thing is, why not learn how to make 5 or 6 different shades of pink, 5 or 6 different shades of, you know, greens and coppers and different things like that, and then save money.
Right, right.
Same.
And that absolutely makes good business sense. So definitely. So we had a question as far as like wanting to know your product color choice. I think that we answered that, but if not, you can put something else back up. I'm not sure about that question, but we also have a question as far as, is it good for gray coverage?
The direct dye, it just depends on how much gray coverage you have.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't really utilize it. I would say maybe like about 20% or less for gray coverage. Anything over that, you want to use a demi, you know, or something, you know, with a N series involved with it, you know,
right,
for and things like that. So demis are, of course, a lot better, but with temporary colors or direct dyes, 20% or less gray.
Right. Okay. Okay. And about how long do they last?
You know, between 8 to 12 shampoos. It just depends on how much the client shampoos the hair, and if they're a client that works out a lot. So it's going to be based on different individuals.
Okay. Okay. And will it cover well on natural hair, or it does need to have some level of
Say again.
You have a little visitor, it sounds like.
My mom came and picked up and she didn't want to leave.
Oh, okay.
Question again?
With the colors, the direct dyes, can they be used on natural hair, or do you have to have some level of the cuticle being, you know, raised for them to work well?
No, any type of hair. But any of course, anything. Well, here, I have this right here. This is called P-Fected. This is our porosity control spray, and you never hear anybody hardly talking about porosity. And that's the main thing in color is, can you control the porosity? So we spray this on, let this sit on the hair for 2 to 3 minutes, and it would make all your colors more vibrant, catch easy. Because if your cuticles are up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, all the way around, the color comes out differently. My girl is off.
She is missing her daddy. Uh-oh, you broke up a little bit.
I said, I hate hearing her cry like that.
Right, I'm sure.
Right, her mama didn't come get her.
We're gonna let her daddy go soon. So
no problem, no rush.
We had one question I wanted to kind of go back to with the when we were talking about the charging. And it was, does the color charge of $200 include cost of styling, et cetera, or the other services a la carte?
That's based on you. Mine is a la carte.
Yours is a la carte. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, color is going to be color by itself. I had a lady, and it's funny. I wish I could show it to you right now. This people always text me, you know, hey, I want to get color. I want to get color. I never do color on the first visit. You got to come to me for at least 2 or 3 times, so I can kind of, you know, figure your hair out. She asked for color, and I knew what the deal was anyway. Anytime anybody asks what the price is, I already know they can't afford it. So she asked for the price, and next thing you know, it took a while to text back, oh, wow. God, I didn't know it cost that much. I said, wait, is it too much? I said, I didn't charge enough? Like what? You know, so I'm like, you know, wow. But I'm like, yeah, I said, that's color. She said, does that come with the haircut and stuff? I said, no, that's just the color by itself. But if you want to do it, you know, extra value meal like McDonald's and put it all together, every stylist is going to have their own thing. Me personally, the haircut is different. The shampoo, see, a shampoo and style is a shampoo and style. You shampoo the hair and you style the hair. If I shampoo the hair and style the hair and cut the hair, that's something different. If I shampoo and style the hair and cut and color it, that's 2 different prices again. So, you know, you have to look at what you're saying. I want a shampoo and style, cut, shampoo and style, cut and color. Okay, so if you charge $100 for each of these things, that's $300. Simple as that.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, each one should be totally separate. Just for everybody who's watching right now, whenever Ruth Chris open back up, all right, go to Ruth Chris and ask for like 10 things on the menu. Of course, have at least $600.
Yeah.
Everything is going to be a la carte.
Yes.
It's no, you can get your size with the meal. So every business has their own thing. Now, McDonald's, you can go and get you, your cheeseburger, your fries, and your drinks for $5. That's McDonald's.
Right.
But if you want to be a Ruth Chris, if you want to be a Chanel, if you want to be a Louis Vuitton, you can. If you want to be a Walmart type stylist, you can. Nothing's wrong with Walmart either.
Right.
Walmart is a $1 billion company, but they deal with lower prices, which means that they have to take in more customers. All right, versus going to a Bugatti car lot where the one car may cost $1 or $2 million. So it just depends on what kind of stylist you want to be, but whatever stylist you want to be, you just have to be great at it, and you have to know exactly what you're going to do based on your time, based on your services, based on what kind of prices you're going to charge.
Yeah, with some of the coaching I've been doing during this time, it's like we've just been looking at business models. It's like, because the business models have to shift. And definitely, I would say, like, if you're in the Walmart business model, which doesn't work with services, from my experience, it's like there's only so many hours in the day. You can't multiply yourself like they have multiple stores, 30 stores in a city, or a state or what have you. You can't multiply yourself like that. So just looking at, and especially now. Go ahead.
And Walmart thing is retail.
Exactly.
So you got to look at, everything that we do. And in our market, retail is not a big thing, because most of the time, Black women don't shampoo their hair every single night or every other day. So retail in our market is going to be a little bit lower than a Caucasian market. So when you figure out, what you want to do, what type of market are you going to, gear your work towards? Caucasian market, a Black market, like whatever it is you want to do, then you got to figure out what kind of stylist you want to be.
Right. Yeah, I think those are important things to really look at, especially right now when we're kind of going back. For many of us, we were shut down for that period of time. It's like, I hope that we're kind of assessing, like, where do we want to go from here? Because some of us didn't have things that were working.
You better have some investment in it, because this could happen. This could happen every single year, and you got to be ready with some investment set aside for something. You want your money to work for you, because like, what are one of the main things right now that Bill Gates is invested in? He invested in pharmaceutical companies. Why? Because the whole entire world, at least a portion of the world, is going to have to get vaccine shots. So now you got to invest in which pharmaceutical companies should you invest your money into. I have about 4 companies I invest in, and guess what? Every last one of them makes money every single day.
Right.
So, the cool thing about hair is, be great at that. That's what we call earned income. Exactly. When you stand behind, you earn your money. And then you have your passive income, where, you may make a book or write a book, and it makes money for you on eBay all the time. And then you have portfolio income, where you have, your stocks and your bonds and your ETFs that make you money while you sleep and make you money while you're at work. So those are the 3 types of income. But standing behind a chair, if you don't stand behind a chair, you don't make any money.
Right.
Which means if you don't have any money saved up in investments and different things, you're not going to make anything, and you're going to go down and you're going to kill yourself. You're going to bury yourself in the ground because of that.
Wow. That's deep. That is deep. And we've got another question here with, do you have a course or system on the relaxing and coloring each day? The same day?
Right there.
Wow.
Yes, this video right here shows you how to relax and color in the same day. I'm doing 2 models. One model, we're doing the full relaxer on right there in front of you. I'm doing the color on it, everything. I even put the cell phone up to the screen so you can see the date and the time. So you know that we didn't edit it and we didn't come back a week later and do it. And the other model, she was already relaxed. We just came in and put the color on, because you're not going to get every client that comes in, hey, let me get the relaxing color on the same day. So we did 2 different versions of that, and beautiful haircuts, beautiful color, but just really, really explaining everything step by step so you can understand it. All right.
Okay, so tell us the name again. You broke up just a little bit.
Exodus.
Okay. Yes. And
before we get off, I have a special for all your viewers too.
Oh, okay. That would be wonderful. So thank you for that, Patrick. Exodus. I think Tiffany was asking how to
Yeah.
pronounce it. Yeah. It
And
broke
you'll
up.
see it on the website. So you'll see that right
Yeah,
there.
it's coming in backwards for us, I think.
Oh, wow. What should I turn? I can't turn it. Which way can
Right. That helps, right?
Yeah.
But it's Exodus. Okay.
Yeah, Xodus.
Okay. Great. So, yeah. So tell us like any secrets you would say, other than, it's like definitely diversify your income, to stylists who may be coming into the industry. This is an interesting time to be coming into the industry. But any advice you would say to someone who's, coming into the industry or wanting to get into, educating or building their brand even online or.
Well, I would say right now, if you're first coming in, I wouldn't really get into education right now at all. I would build my clientele up first. I would build my clientele up first, and then as far as being an educator, I would let that kind of come to you. And of course, you can start, with Instagram, with doing your lives and doing different things like that, because that's you basically talking to the world or talking to your followers. And if people, like what you're doing, of course, you're going to get your likes and your followers and say, hey, can you come to my salon and do a class? Or can you come educate at my school? So let them tell you that, hey, you're going in the right direction. But I wouldn't say, hey, go out here and come out of beauty school and open up a beauty salon. No, go work with somebody first to see, is this really what you want to do? Follow a good blueprint first to see all the ins and outs, because owning the salon is just not about paying the mortgage. You got all the light bills, the water bill, and stuff breaks down. And, well, I don't want to work with anybody. I want to work by myself. Then you're in the wrong business. That's why I'm not really a big fan of suites. Even though they do it, I like the open concept of being around the Mickeys and the other stylists, so you can look around at everybody and learn and see what they're doing and get advice. And well, in my suite, we can walk around and everybody have their door opens and different things. But if you're a person and you don't really go to educational classes a lot and you don't really go out to classes a lot, it's going to definitely stunt your growth. So that's me personally. I like the open concept, but of course, this is a new thing now with the suites and everything. But I would say, with being an educator, make that one of the last things you do first. Build your clientele up, because you can't help anybody grow if you can't help yourself out. So you have to have some kind of, longevity and some kind of answers showing people how to do this, or failures. Failures are great.
Exactly.
It's great because now you got something to talk about. You got some stuff to talk about and different things like that. So just with that educational thing, it'll come to you. People will let you know, hey, you should go up in your prices. Hey, you should be an educator. Hey, you should do this. Hey, you should start your own line. And that's how I started my own line. People kept asking me, hey, when you going to start your own line? When you going to start your own line? I'm like, own line? I'm like, never. So, I got to the point to where I said, if the next person asks me, when you going to start your own line? I said, I'm going to tell them today. And somebody asked me this at a show in California. That's why I got the word in Hollywood. Somebody said, hey, Patrick, when you going to start your own line? Today.
Okay.
And I didn't know how I was going to start it. I didn't know what the concepts were or what I was going to do. I knew that I had been around other great people. But after that, I had to just, today. Because I'm like, if people are saying that means that I need to go out here and at least try it and do it, because they're liking what, they're liking something that I'm doing. So, I think with that, you have to create your name first. Forget trying to open up a salon. Forget trying to be an educator. Forget trying to start your own products. Get a good name first. That's your brand. Your brand is your name. Patric Bradley, that's my brand. Your name, you being nice, you being friendly to people, that's your brand. And then if you have a good name, this could be awful. People are still buy it because they like you.
Right.
But this could be great. If they don't like you, they're not going to buy it. So you have to be liked first. That's very, very important. Create a nice name. And then when you create your brand, like Patric Bradley was already established in the industry before I came out with this.
Right.
So when I came out with this, it was like, oh, I know Patric Bradley. I'm pretty sure it's probably good. Let me try it. And then, of course, it wasn't that great in the beginning, but I had to get used to getting into this product game and getting the ideas and, hearing this is bad, change this, change that, change this. So you have to learn as you go along. So that's what I did.
Yeah, yeah. But I love that as far as like creating your name first, you know, like getting your styling together and
Yeah,
like you say, making the mistakes so that you have some reference points for helping people, you know, to get through
yeah,
some things.
yeah, absolutely. Or you're gonna have a storage full of products.
Yeah, yeah. And I think being, you know, we talked about humility early on, but it's like being humble enough to work for someone is very educational. So you
Yeah,
can learn. And then like the prices you're spitting out, what I found in the industry is that we're timid about our pricing. And
yeah,
if we start out on our own, we never raise our prices very
yeah,
much.
yeah,
And if we start out in a salon that already charges this, you got to learn how to fix your mouth to say that. And so when
yeah,
you go out on your own, it's like you are already here and your whole career ends up being so much further along
yeah.
than
Now I always tell people in classes, you got to do mouth exercises in the morning.
do
You
what is
know, mouth
okay.
exercise. You got to look in the mirror. After you get finished brushing your teeth, you got to look in the
Uh-huh.
mirror. 400, 300, 500, 400. You got to say those numbers. So when somebody asks you a certain price, you're so busy saying, 50 and 30 and 40 or 100. Say 400. Like, what's wrong with saying 400 for a hair color?
Uh-huh.
You got to get your mouth used to saying that kind of stuff. And
Right.
of course, once you study enough and you research enough and you know your stuff and you've done enough mouth exercises, this client turns around. Well, how much? It's 400. And when one person pays, that starts you off right there, because if one person can pay, everybody can pay the same price. Yeah,
Love it.
absolutely.
Love it. So I hope that encouraged somebody. Start working on your mouth.
Mouth exercises. Look in the way. You got to see in the mirror in the morning. Say it. 300, 400, 500. Say those prices.
Yes. What I'm going to do is try to check to see if we have any quick questions
Okay.
from Facebook, and we'll let you go because this has been wonderful. It's like you have shared some serious knowledge, dropped some nuggets
Well,
on.
I'm good. I don't smell any food cooking yet, so I'm good.
Uh-oh. Oh, okay. Someone was saying porosity got lost someplace, that it is very important with color, but people have forgotten about it. Yes.
Yeah, you hear people talking about formulations and this kind of formulations, this kind of formulations. Well, what happens if the cuticle is shut? The
Right.
formulation is not going to work at all.
Exactly.
Yeah. And the cuticle is like this. Oh my God. Now your formulation is going to work like overkill.
Right.
So
Or wash right out.
yeah, so you have to be able to control the porosity. And I'm surprised that I'm surprised this is not one of our biggest sellers. It's a big seller, but to me, this right here should be going like every single week. People should
Right.
order 4 or 5 bottles of these if they're doing color, true color,
Yeah.
because what this does, it takes, if the client comes in, you can't really look at the cuticle and see if it's like this, or this. So what it does is it makes the whole cuticle the exact same. So when you do your color, all your color comes out even and vibrant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, people out here, they just throwing on color and rolling dice, hoping that it's gonna come out good. And next thing you know, they're taking pictures of only the good side of the hair. And then we calling them colorists.
Okay.
Yeah, show the whole head. Show the whole head. I don't want to see the good side.
Right.
Show me the whole head. And that to me shows a great stylist or a great colorist. But again, we're in social media. I'm gonna edit out the bad parts. I'm gonna put a filter over it.
Right.
But when you a live class, a live show, that's where your real educators are.
Right.
That stuff on media, that's false all day long.
Yeah. Well, you got to invest in yourself, and you got to do, the live classes when we can do live classes again, the video training where it's real meaty training and step by step versus, YouTube University has some things on there, but it's like it's choppy and you don't know how to put all the pieces together, which is the way that you teach, from A to Z. And like you say, the porosity, like you can't really do hair color without keeping up with the porosity.
And you very seldom hear about it at shows, very seldom.
Right. And the other thing, it's like that seemed like it's kind of going back a little bit. When we first started, a lot of times we would shampoo the hair first to make sure that it was a nice, even cleanness.
Yeah, clean,
There wasn't a lot of product, hairsprays and gels and edge control and all that kind of stuff on the hair. It doesn't need to be on the hair before you're doing color. Are you a proponent of?
And that's your biggest thing, to have uneven color. If you go in there, you got product on the hair, you definitely gonna have uneven color. Now you're gonna spend the rest of the day trying to make it even, you know, trying to fill in blotches and try to fill in dark areas. So why go through all that? Just study and understand what's going on. Now, this is another video here called, I know it's backwards, but it's called I Know Color. I don't know how to show it. Yeah. It's called I Know Color. This here will help you to understand color A through Z. If you can study this video right here for the rest of your career, you will know color from A to Z. All right, understand the underlying pigments, corrective color, the whole nine. But that's how color is. And I made this video here very, very simple for you to understand. To me, this video here is worth $1 million. Because if you're gonna be in the color game, why go through all the guessing? Just learn it.
Right.
And then understand it and then do it. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't do color well without some education, like some serious education, and getting, one of my mentors talks about being brilliant at the basics. It's like, you got to get brilliant at those basics of the color wheel. You know, you got to know that inside and out, not like, oh, well, let me run to the back and check to see, you know, what I need to cancel out this, you know.
It should be right here.
Exactly.
Right down your head.
Yeah, I told somebody that they needed to have it, you know, with them all the time. They're like, I'm going to get a tattoo and put it right on my hand and have my color wheel. Well, that's one way to do it.
Yeah, for real.
Or you could learn it, you know.
Yeah, just learn it. Be easy with it.
Someone said they're having trouble with gray. Oh, now I'm missing. Okay, here it is. Okay. The name of the porosity spray, if you could share that with us again. She's having trouble keeping gray coverage around the hairline. Any suggestions?
Okay. This right here is called P-Fected.
Okay.
P-Fected.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's called P-Fected as well. Not with just dealing with color around the hairline, just gray in general. With gray in general, you got to deal with your in series. So let's say when gray hair is dealt with on percentage, whether the client is 5% gray, 10% gray, 50%, 100%, that's how your mixture needs to be. If she's 10% gray, and let's say if your client wants to be a golden blonde and she's gray, all right? She wants to be golden blonde and she's gray, and she's 50% gray. 50% of your mixture, and we have a 2-ounce bottle. So 1 ounce needs to be, let's say she wants to be like a 8G, all right? So 1 ounce needs to be your what? Your GN, all right? That means that's your gold with your Nutri series. The other ounce can be just your gold by itself, but you have to have your N series present. Now, if I just went on and I just put on just a, you know, gold, you rolling dice. The hair may cover, it may not cover. And 9 times out of 10, the whole head would not cover. So you have to have your N series present. If she's 100% gray, then 100% of your mixture needs to be of the N series. Or you can have like a 2N, all right? That means you can have a GNN. That means it has a double kick of your N series. And all the N series is just your red, yellows, and blues, all your natural colors all together, all your primary colors all together, which is going to make that G, that gold color, lock onto the hair. Because you can put a gold onto gray hair. Gray hair is white. It has nothing that's going to make that hair color stick. So that's why you have to have N series mixed in with it to make that color lock on to that gray hair. So anytime you color in gray, make sure you have N series present in the hair. 4N, 5N. You've probably seen this when you go to stores. 2N, 1N, you know, 9N. All this is it's great for gray coverage, or it's going to have your neutral series involved with it.
Yeah. Sounds like it's a great tip. You know, definitely making sure that you've got that understanding of the gray hair as well as the rest of the hair. But the gray hair without pigment has to have a little bit of a different formulation than it would normally.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I want to thank you so much for being here and sharing so much with us, so openly with us.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
We appreciate all that you've been doing all these years to make us better hairstylists.
Thank you. Thank you. I got more to come. I'm still studying.
I know, I can't wait. Yeah, so I think we're going to call it a night, but it's like we appreciate you being here. I appreciate everybody that's on right now, that's watching, asking questions and making comments. There were some comments that I wasn't able to see earlier on Facebook. I don't know if you are on our Facebook group page on Beauty Superstars, but if you're on there or would like to be on there, it's like maybe we can, if there are any questions, maybe we can go through and just.
Yeah, let me do a deal for you too, Mickey.
Yeah, definitely love that.
Have a calculator right in front of you? A calculator?
Yep, I do. How about that? Let me see if I can grab it real quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. With add no color, this is just the regular prices. With add no color is $220.
Mm-hmm.
With Exodus is $140. What's that total?
That would be $360.
All right, $360. And I have some color clips here. Some white color clips is $12. The color clips are $12.
$12?
Yeah. And then we have a bowl. I don't have the brush. I forgot to bring the brush. We have a bowl and brush as well, and that's $550. And the brush is real fine, and then you can do a lot of balayage and blending techniques with it. Very, very small, so it's not wide. So what's the total for all of that?
We've got $372. We've got $377.50.
$377.50. Okay, so what we'll do for everybody watching, if they want to get both the DVDs, the bowl and brush, and the clip set, you said $377?
Yep, $377.50.
So we can do the whole package for $277 is $100 off. Let's do $250.
Ooh, okay. So $250.
And this video by itself is $220.
I heard that.
All right, but like I said, this video is like it could easily go for $300 to $500 with the information involved in this video here. Like you'll get so much information here, it'll blow your mind away. I mean, it'll be like, wow, this is like, and to me, it is the best coloring DVD in the industry. That's how well it explains, breaks down hair color. All right, so if you're an artist and y'all want to get down with that, that's the price. Whatever I just told you, what I said, $250.
$250, yeah. So tell us how to order. Yeah,
you can go to well, no, you can't go to the website because the website's gonna have the regular prices.
Right.
Yeah. So text me that price I just told you.
Okay.
So they can just text 757 581 052 757 581 6052. They can text that number for the the Mickey Wright color special.
Okay.
And that's how they got texted.
I'm going to put that phone number in the Beauty Superstars group. So if there's anybody watching that's not a member of Beauty Superstars to, request to join us, and we'll send you, you'll be able to access that phone number. So if you have any challenges or anything, you can let us know.
And we'll do that special up until Friday or to when, supplies run out.
Okay.
So Friday.
Okay, ends on Friday or while supplies last.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's a great deal. It's like we definitely appreciate it. So
and the P order off of patricbradley.com.
Okay, great.
As well as the lightener.
Okay.
Yeah. But to me, if you're going to get the lightener system is only $38. P effect is $18.95. But to me, the main education is out of these two right here. Because you can get the lightener, as great as the lightener is, it's not going to do anything unless you understand color, plain and simple. The lightener can be great, but you can only push it as far as you can go with it based on your education. So right. I definitely put videos first, product second.
Yes, yeah, and I think that's always the case: education first, and then when you get the products, you know what to do with them. Yeah,
absolutely. It becomes easy. You can always DM me. If y'all have any questions about anything, dealing with the products or different things like that, and I definitely hook you up. But you're never going to get the answer if you don't ask questions.
Right. Well, You said that. I think that's a great place for us to pause. And
thank you.
Oh, wow. So this has been good. It's like I have enjoyed myself, Patrick, and it's like I think the world of you. And it's like I'm so glad we were able to do this and that you were able to share so much with us because we got branding, we got coloring, we got pricing. We didn't even know we were going to get that. It's like we got relaxed hair. We got some tips about salons, choosing your salons to fit your needs. So I think there's so much meat in here that I hope people really watch it a couple times actually, and really let it soak in. Put this on, like you say, when you're practicing your 300, 400, practice, have this, listen to it and play. And we're actually gonna expand it so it will be like on a podcast, so you can just set it up to just listen. So
okay, great.
Forward to that. Yeah. So stay tuned.
Ready to do it again.
What'd you say? You ready to do it again?
But strictly investing though. That's what I think.
Okay. Yes, we have to do that. That sounds great. And we'll put up any kind of message or anything as far as how we can contact you about that as well.
Yeah, you can join my group at pbinvestmentgroup.net. So, yeah, PB, like P as in Paul, B as in Bradley, pbinvestmentgroup.net. So when you go to the website, it'll give you all the information, and it's only $39.95 a month. That's it. But I'm going to show you how to make hundreds to thousands of dollars, per day if you're doing the right thing. So forget the fee, because with us, that's what we get stuck at. Oh, why I got to pay that kind of. Now, do you want to make $5,000 a month or $10,000 a month or $10,000 a year paying $39.95? And I did this one thing for you. If you got a few minutes, Mickey. Back in the early 90s, and I'm pretty sure you remember this, when Amazon first came out, all Black folks were talking about was, I want to download me a book. I want to download me a book from Amazon so I can have me a book to put on my Kindle, so when I go out of town, I can read my Kindle on the plane for my download. So that's all Amazon was about back then.
Right. Mm-hmm.
The price of Amazon back then was $1.42.
Wow.
But you know why we didn't invest in it? Because we didn't hang with nobody that taught about investing in stocks. If we had spent $2,800 back in the 90s, just $2,800, and bought 2,000 shares of Amazon back then, and we didn't buy any other stock in the world, today, Amazon is worth $3,000. You can go Google it. It's $3,000 a day. We would be almost $6 million up right now. You invest $2,800 to get $6 million.
Right.
But broke Black people would be like, why I got to pay $39.95?
Right.
To get information to make millions. It don't take but one good investment to make you millions of dollars. But you got to be around people that's doing that. And we weren't around anybody doing that. All we was around was consumers. Go download you a book. Go download you a book. Right. But the other folks were like, go buy you some stocks. Go buy you some stocks. Go buy you some stocks. And now they sit back right now, and all they purchased was $2,800.
Wow.
Yeah. And you ain't get it all at one time. It's accumulation.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, $6 million.
Yeah.
Just go and see what the price of Amazon was back in the early 90s, and then see what it is this exact day.
Right.
Guaranteed. It's going to blow your mind away. So that's what I'm getting on now, is showing people how to make their money make money.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
We absolutely need that.
I can one screenshot today of one of my stocks making me almost $600 a day.
Wow.
And some barely making that in a whole 2 or 3 days at the salon.
Right.
Doing 10, 12 heads a day. So why wouldn't you want to make that kind of money plus doing nothing?
Right.
Because you've invested that money. Now that money now is building and making more money. Or, you invested in Tesla, when it was $172. Now Tesla is almost $3,000.
Right.
Well, or almost $2,000 a share. But we don't hang with smart people like that. We don't hang with millionaires like that. We don't hang with people that want to invest like that. So all we doing is, let me go out here and buy the Tesla versus me go out here and buy a company.
Right. Well, we're going to hang with you. And
it's easy work, but it's all about information, Right. And you get information, like I said, when I do the recommendations, All you got to do is have your money together and diversify and put it out there. And if you like the company, you keep on buying into it until it becomes that, that unicorn company, like, the Amazons or the Googles or the Facebook. Like, I invested in Facebook when they first came out. It was $34. Now it's $200 some.
Wow.
So that shows you how much money I made with Facebook by itself. But back then, all we were doing was, let me get on Facebook.
Right.
Let me get on. Let me see how many friends I got. Let me see how many. Forget the likes. Forget the likes. Get them old white men in your pocket.
Yeah.
That's what you. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Wise words. Wise words. So that is, I'm going to just say that again. It's pbinvestmentgroup.net.
Yes.
Okay. Sounds like a winner.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you. It's like, I'm going to,
hope everybody had a great time today. I did.
Yeah. It's like, I appreciate you guys putting up information and kind of being involved with it, because I'd like for us to have a conversation, but I always like to get the feedback too. So, so I appreciate everybody being here and being so involved.
Yeah.
It's like, see if I can do this. So I will again say thank you so much. It's like you have poured into us, and it's like we are gonna stay connected with you, take advantage of these great trainings and products that you have available. And like I said, listen to this over and over again and let it sink in and let it soak in while you're doing your practicing. And it's like, just recognize that Patric didn't land where he is. That it's like there were some steps that were taken to get there, and he shared a lot of it with us today. So it's like
a whole lot of growing up in the projects.
Okay.
Eating cheese, all that stuff. It helped me out in the long run.
What'd you say?
I said eating a whole lot of government cheese.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in the long run.
Gotcha. Yep. It's like we all start somewhere, but it's like we get to choose where we go from there. So so I want to thank everybody for taking time out of your evening to join us. I want to let you know, one, I guess, is you can visit beautysuperstars.com. There actually is a gift there. It's like I'm concerned with everybody's finances as well. And it's like we've got like 7 steps to kind of get you in order during this time. So that's a free gift. So if you want to go on there and check that out, and to let you know, it's like I'll be back next Tuesday, and I've just put out the outline for next month's, which is outside of the chair. Next month's lineup for the interviews that we'll be doing here with Beauty Superstars Talk. And so I think first we've got Ralph Ochoa, so we'll be talking to us about working in film and television. And I know a lot of people are interested in that. What does it take? How do you do it? Right now a lot of them are shut down, but it's a great time for you to learn and kind of get inspired, if nothing else. And then we'll have Mazay Jefferson, who's excelled. He's a L'Oreal executive, I think VP of, now I'm going to get it all goofed up again. I got to get his title absolutely correct, but he's gone through most of his career in a corporate setting. And so we think we got to stand behind the chair. It's like there's opportunities in film and television. There's opportunities in corporate positions. And then we'll go on to Michelle O'Connor, who's won NAHA, the North American Hairstyling Awards, 5 times, which is record setting. I don't know how many people have won more than 5 times. She's a beautiful Black woman, and the art that she creates is just phenomenal. She's an editorial stylist, and just take you into that whole arena of making your creativity expand, how she works with hair and texture and all kinds of stuff to create these images that are just blow your mind. So come and join us. And then I've heard her share, about some of the experiences of feeling less than because she's a Black woman, even though she has all these accomplishments and awards and what have you. And so we really want to hear her story. And then we'll have Kia Sterling, who's going to be finishing out that month for outside of the chair. And she does, I don't even know how to classify what she does, but she does editorial. She's on a team where they travel all over the world and create these dynamic presentations. And so it's like the skill set. She works Fashion Week. It's like there's just all these opportunities that we may not know about or we may not know how to get into. And so they're all going to share you know, what's available to us besides being an educator or being behind the chair, or some of the things that we may know about. So that should be a really fun month. And then we're going to move into the barbers. So I'm excited about September. So we're lining that up as we go. So like I said, I've got about like 5 years worth of people I want to talk to. So I haven't even scratched the surface. And then we're going to bring Patric back and talk about investing. So
hey.
Yeah, so I hope you guys will keep tuning in and sharing the word to get us more exposure and get more people, because it's like the nuggets and the knowledge that's coming through here is phenomenal. And
great job.
Say that again.
I said you're doing an excellent job with it too.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's like, it just feels like we are under celebrated. And so I'm committed to celebrating us and being able to put a spotlight where there's excellence, and there's so much excellence and we don't even know about it. So, yeah, I'm grateful to you and all that you've inspired for me personally and for our industry. So you
inspired me, and I still have your books that I think I have maybe about 4 or 5 books that you were in when I was in school.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Wow, this girl here is bad. I'm going to screenshot them and send them to you.
Yeah, because I have a lot of collections of stuff, but there's some things that I don't have anything of. And I'm like, wow. So
what I'm most fond of, you did some kind of white wig. That's the one that kind of stays in my mind. Some kind of white wig. Back, I don't know if it was the front cover of some magazine. I forget what it was.
Okay.
But it was a white wig. It was like phenomenal.
Yeah, that was that was a whole story. It was so funny, but it's like, you know, you have a vision in your head, and so it's like it was like a futuristic wedding was what it was. And so we had this, you know, kind of bodysuit made with, you know, the patches with the not glitter, but, you know, sparkly stuff and what have you. And there was the white wig itself, which I styled and what have you. And then I made a headpiece that was part of the hairstyle. And my vision.
Didn't even know it back then.
What'd you say?
You was my mentor and you didn't even know it.
I didn't know it, no. But I think that creativity is like, you have to visualize it, because some of the things I would tell people that I was gonna do, they'd be like, what? It's like, and it's like, then they would see it. It's like, oh, okay. But my vision was to have this bride riding on this white horse, and to have these fabulous, you know, images and what have you. And so I had the model, you know, meet the horse. I was like, are you okay with, you know, being on a horse or what have you? She's like, I'm fine. Okay. And so I had to find someone that had a white horse, because obviously I didn't have one sitting around. So I found a white horse, and we found a place to shoot. And, you know, it's like the trainer with the horse is like, oh yeah, this will be great, or what have you. And I think they met beforehand, the model and the horse or whatever. And so anyway, she shows up with this big white headpiece on her head, and it spooked the horse. And the horse was like, woo, you know, and the model's like, I'm not going near. So we have like 2 pictures of them where she's standing in the foreground and the horse is way in the background.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. Phenomenal. I still remember that from back in the 90s.
Wow. Well, thank you for bringing that up. But yeah, I would love to see a screenshot of it. It's like, I have something of it somewhere, but I'd love to see what you have.
I'm getting ready to move now, so everything is kind of packed up. So
okay.
I think I'm gonna take a picture of it and send it to you.
Okay. Yeah, I would definitely love that. Absolutely. Yep, absolutely. So yeah, I hope you guys are inspired to let your creative juices flow, to get your color game on, to get your investing game on. And, you know, keep following Patric, keep following me, keep, you know, following Beauty Superstars Talk, and make this industry, you know, just as fabulous as it can be, and elevate all of our games. I think takes it to the next level.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So thank you so much. You have a wonderful evening. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Whether you're watching on a replay, you know, enjoy. So take good care. Have a fabulous evening, and I will see you guys next Tuesday at 7 p.m. So take good care.
All right. Bye-bye. Thank you, Mika. Bye-bye.